Hey folks, welcome back to Dub Africa. This is Chris once more. Well, day one, and so much continues to unfold in the race merchant capital of America. That'd be the White House, folks. The race mercantilism is up and running. Full flow, folks. Let's talk about what we're discussing here. Well, before he signed the executive order, the White House transition team issued a press release in which they described an executive order that Mr. Biden would sign on his first day in office, which apparently he has signed now, and let's talk about that. He designated Susan Rice as the head of Domestic Policy Council as the leader of a robust interagency effort requiring all federal agencies to make rooting out systemic racism central to their work. That's awesome. Does that mean that racial preferences for university admissions will now be removed? Does it mean the end of race quotas for officer promotions in the military? That's a wonderful thing. It'd be really nice that the only consideration be merit and leadership ability. That'd be wonderful for the health of our military. Instead of having artificially high groups represented by artificially high percentages based on racial quotas. And will it mean the end of affirmative action? Systemic racism that it is. Somehow I doubt that systemic racism will be removed by eliminating affirmative action, stopping racial preferences in university admissions, and rooting out quotas in the military promotion system. So I don't think they're really going to root out systemic racism. I think what they're going to do is discriminate against majority Americans based on fraudulent claims of systemic racism while actually practicing systemic racism. His order directs the agencies to review and report on equity in their ranks within 200 days, including a plan on how to remove barriers to opportunities in policies and programs. The order also moves to ensure that Americans of all backgrounds have equal access to federal government resources, benefits, and services. It starts a data working group as well as a study of new methods to measure and access federal equity and diversity efforts. The role of the federal government isn't to have diversity efforts. It is to represent the country's needs and provide for the common defense. That's the role of government, not this nonsense. It is interesting for him to say that the order moves to ensure that Americans of all backgrounds have equal access. Somehow I doubt that. And based on what actually came out in the statement, they pretty much state that they're not going to make sure that all Americans. Now, they talk about equity. The president-elect will sign an executive order beginning the work of embedding equity across federal policymaking and rooting out systemic racism and other barriers to opportunity from federal programs and instructions. Embedding equity. That means assuring equality of outcomes, not equality of opportunity. Equity is equality of opportunity, not equality of outcomes. You shouldn't get the same for less effort. You shouldn't get the same for less talent. You shouldn't get the same for contributing less. But what they want is everybody gets the same. That's equality of failure. That's what that is. The executive order will define equity as the consistent and systemic, fair, just, and impartial treatment of all individuals. Sounds great. Sounds great. Including individuals who belong to underserved communities. They claim underserved. But of course, these communities have racial preferences in admission to university. They have affirmative action policies that grant them jobs over other groups based solely on their physical appearance. And of course, huge advantages for all sorts of other programs. But impartial treatment of all individuals, including individuals who belong to underserved communities such as Black, Latino, Indigenous and Native American, Asian American, Pacific Islanders, and other persons of color. What's left? Smurfs? Who do we miss? The Smurfs? Alpha Centaurians? Apparently they're green. Smurfs are purple or blue. LGBTQ, people with disabilities, religious minorities, persons who live in rural groups, and persons otherwise affected by persistent poverty or inequality. Wow. What you said all individuals, yet you exclude majority Americans, so-called white people, 3/4 of the population. So you intend to treat 3/4 of the population as less equal, which is the system that's already out there. Wow. The Office of Management and Budget will be tasked with working to more equitably allocate federal resources to empower and invest in communities of color and other underserved communities. Wow. So all Americans pay taxes, but only some Americans will get the benefit of it. Interesting. Administration also wants to improve access to government benefits and services, for example, by reducing language access barriers. Well, that's easy. Mr. Biden, I can help you with that. Promote literacy. Promote literacy in this country. Get all Americans to be able to speak and to read and write proficiently in English. That's how you reduce language barriers. Wait, I get it. You want to introduce alien languages into our culture. That's what you want to do. Yeah. Well, the thing is that English is our language, Mr. Biden. English is our language, not Tagalog, not Farsi, not Korean, not Mandarin. English is our language. If you want to reduce language barriers, have Americans be able to speak the language of their country. Yes. Now, for the bigots out there and the haters, you're going to, typical American hick. No. I speak 6 languages. 3 of them are African, so stuff that in your bonnet and keep marching, haters. The language of this country is English. But I value other languages and have spent a fair portion of my life learning proficiency in 5 other languages. 3 of them African. So piss off. Wow. Wow, folks. This is insanity. Insanity. The administration wants to look into new ways to check whether its policies advance equity. Read, advance equity equals diminish everyone. When you make decisions based on someone's physical appearance, you diminish the quality of everyone's life. It's bigotry. It's racist. It's vile. It's reprehensible. And the race merchants are in charge now. And this is what we'll see on a daily basis throughout the misery that will be inflicted on this nation and the world and the garbage that comes out of this administration. God help us all. You diminish the talents and qualities of all Americans with your bigotry and racism that you paint in equity, which is simply not the case. Folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris White Africa, why not become one? Smash that subscription button right down there. Be sure to toggle the bell icon if you want to get notified of updates, live streams, future analysis videos like this. And I ask finally that you smash the like button because likes drive viewership. I thank you for your time, for your patience, and for your custom. Thank you very much. God bless. And man, going to be a bumpy ride from here on out, folks, as the race merchants are running the asylum.